This video contains spoilers of the show. Baby Reindeer. This series is inspired by real events. Actually, there was a lady who became so obsessed with a man that she stalked him for almost 3 years and was very aggressive. Now, in this series, the character of Martha is shown. Recently, a woman came forward stating that this story is based on her and this is a lie. She never stalked that person. Instead, he was stalking her, and he was so obsessed with her that he wrote the whole story on her after years and is manipulating the facts.
But that's a fundamental point here, because if they basically have a key point in their drama, which they say is a true story, which involves you admitting to intimidating Richard Gadd and getting a 9-month prison sentence, and that is completely untrue.
That's completely untrue. Very, very defamatory to me. Very career damaging. And I wanted to rebut that completely on this show. I'm not a stalker. I've not been to jail. I've not got injunctions, interdicts. This is just complete nonsense.
So, who is telling the truth here? Let's understand. For those who don't know about Baby Reindeer, here's a quick background. Richard Gadd is a comedian, and in 2015, he faced this problem where a middle-aged woman started stalking him. Richard worked at a pub, and one day he saw a lady who seemed sad and disturbed. She came to his pub, and out of kindness, he just had a conversation with her. But Richard had no idea that this normal conversation would turn into 3 years of stalking. It is said that this lady had some issues, creating scenarios in her mind. Over the span of 3 years, she sent Richard almost 41,000 emails, 350 hours worth of voicemails, 740 for tweets, and 46 Facebook messages, all just because of one conversation. Initially, Richard's friends at the pub thought she was harmless and just interested in Richard. She would come repeatedly, but gradually, this lady started behaving oddly. Somehow, she found Richard's email, then his phone number. And after that, Richard's phone never stopped buzzing with her countless messages and emails. She even found his address and sent bizarre gifts to his house, like sleeping pills, head boxer shorts, and once, a reindeer toy, which is her favorite childhood toy. This stalking was becoming increasingly aggressive, and when Richard tried to confront her about the scenarios she was creating in her mind, initially, she acted sweet and innocent. But then she became ruder, asking intrusive questions and yelling at him on the streets to harass him publicly. She even started bothering Richard's parents. During this phase, Richard was dating a trans woman, and once the stalker found out about his girlfriend, she harassed and tormented her, saying things that created problems in their relationship. Richard endured this stalking and obsessive behavior for more than 3 years. You might wonder why he tolerated all this and didn't go to the police. The reason behind this is tied to something that happened to him, which deeply affected him. Before 2015, Richard was struggling. He had dreams of becoming a writer and was looking for work in various places. During this time, he met a famous writer in the industry. This writer, whose name Richard never revealed, promised to give him work because he was very impressed with Richard's talent. This led Richard to visit the writer's house multiple times. The writer tried to exploit him by giving him substances, and when Richard wasn't fully conscious, he would abuse him sensually. This writer's behavior was misunderstood by those around Richard, who thought he was just trying to help. Soon after this incident, the stalker entered Richard's life. Richard often wondered why she behaved this way. Was she lonely, or an innocent person who had been wronged? Although he knew her behavior was wrong and abnormal, he wasn't ready to involve the police because he felt bad for her and thought he could handle it himself. Eventually, he realized it was a bad idea and had to involve the authorities. In an interview, Richard clarified that unlike in movies where police investigations happen easily and cases get solved quickly, in real life, such cases aren't taken seriously and involve many procedures, which take time. Hence, he endured this for 3 long years. It's not clear in real life whether the stalker went to jail or not because, of course, some things in the series are dramatized. After the series was released, people speculated. Richard never revealed Martha's real name and said he wouldn't. But out of nowhere, a lady named Fiona Harvey came forward in the media. When people saw Fiona's photos on social media, they quickly linked her to the character of Martha in Baby Reindeer, concluding that she was the stalker. In an interview, Fiona said she was very angry with Richard and initially denied sending emails to him. But then she changed her statement, admitting she might have sent a few emails here and there. When asked about the tweets, she said she might have sent 14 tweets, which the host pointed out was still a lot.
Anything?
You never sent him anything?
No. I think there may have been a couple of emails exchanging, but that was it. Just jokey banter emails.
Netflix have said that these details are the real ones. That this is exactly
completely incorrect.
So you're denying sending anything to him?
There may have been a couple of emails.
Text messages?
No.
Facebook messages?
No.
Did you tweet him?
I may have done years and years ago.
You actually tweeted him numerous times.
No, it wasn't numerous. It was about 18 tweets there or 14.
It's quite a lot for someone who's not that well known.
In the same interview, when asked if she ever harassed Richard's girlfriend, Fiona responded by saying she didn't think Richard had a girlfriend and thought he liked boys instead.
Did you ever attack Richard Gadd's girlfriend because you were jealous?
No, I don't think he had a girlfriend. I think he's homosexual. But no, I have never been to his house or...
This response revealed a lot about her personality. Fiona even claimed that Richard wanted to sleep with her, but she refused. She mentioned that Richard would ask if she would like her curtains fixed, which was a euphemism for him coming home with her, and she always said no, because she already had a boyfriend. In short, Fiona claimed she was ignoring Richard and wasn't interested in him. The reference to the curtains is also mentioned in the series. After watching Fiona's behavior in the interview, many people commented that she was behaving oddly, and some even said, "This all sounds like something Martha would say. This was really disgustingly inappropriate." After the series was released, Fiona received threats and bad messages from people. However, the point is that now more people know her because of this interview. Fiona has also mentioned that she is going to sue Richard and Netflix. This show is beyond incredible, and I haven't seen an honest account of complex trauma before. And Fiona Harvey, she sounds uncannily like Martha. However, she claims she doesn't have a criminal record. Also, please, let's not bully her. Let's not extend the cycle of trauma. The whole point of the show is hurt people. And the internet desperately wants to know the groomer older comedian was based on. Those scenes were so compelling and immersive. The story ends showing that Martha had previously stalked several other men in a similar manner and eventually goes to jail. Why exactly Martha behaves this way isn't given closure, but it's very clear that she has some deep-rooted issues. A voicemail gives a glimpse of her childhood. It is revealed that in her childhood, her parents used to fight a lot, which affected her greatly. Such open-ended theories are given. And when she was little, she had a toy, a baby reindeer, which she always held and kept close to her. She began to see this man's features in that toy, which is why she started addressing this man as Baby Reindeer. It's unknown what happened to Gadd's real abuser. But in an interview with The Guardian, he said that he worked to channel his experiences into his creative theater and TV show. Keeping this in was really hard. And I knew the only way I'd be free of it is if I start to tell people. I don't think anyone knows how bad it is until it happens. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, I think. Commenting on Instagram on the release of Baby Reindeer, which charted at #1 on Netflix's most watched in the UK and US, Gadd added, "I am okay. For those asking, I promise."
I used to blame myself so much for what happened. Why did I drink it? How could I be so fucking naive? My fault, his fault, my fault, his fault, my fault, his fault, my fault, his fault. And all of a sudden 6 years have passed and I'm not young anymore. In some ways I wished it was my fault. Like if anyone was going to fuck up my life, I'd want it to be me. But it's not my fault. It's not my fault. And I don't know how I feel about that yet.